Welcome. We are headed into week 8 of our Healthy Summer Challenge. And today's video is going to be a magic circle video. Now, if you do not have a magic circle at home, totally okay. I'm going to show you how you can do this without your magic circle. If you've used the magic circle, you know that it is fabulous for helping us, what I like to say, like find our work. When you have that magic circle, whether your legs are pressing into it, whether your arms are pressing in it, it helps us figure out how to engage all the muscles when we're doing our work. So it always feels like more work. And I love that about it, but actually the part that I love about the magic circle is I like finding the work so that when I take the magic circle away, I can also find the work, if that makes sense. It kind of makes sense, right? For example, Jane is just gonna let her circle sit down on her legs for a second. If I ask Jane to just straighten her arms and lift them up overhead without the circle, just let it be down, lift them up and then come back down. And she did that nicely, right? But then if I said, let's pick up the magic circle, let's put our butt of the palms on the circle, let's sit tall, pull our shoulders down, engage into the circle. It doesn't have to be squished in half, but can she keep pressing into it the entire time? Just enough so she kind of feels that work all the way through her arms, through her shoulders. It's a whole different experience. It's very subtle. And to me, that is like the subtle work of Pilates, right? It's that internal work. It's like finding the work. So we're gonna play today with using the magic circle to kind of find our work. I'm gonna be having Jane here she has no idea what we're doing today. She just volunteered to come in. So just like you, she's doing this for the first time. We're gonna play with doing some exercises with the magic circle, and then we're gonna take it away and see if we can keep the work, right? So if you don't have a magic circle at home, it's okay. You're gonna pretend like you have a magic circle the entire time, because that's what we're gonna do most of the time anyway. So let's lay back on our mats. Keep your magic circle. You get to lay back and just have your feet hip width apart. We are going to just start kind of with a little movement with our arms. So I'm going to have you, let's go ahead and bend legs. And you can hold your circle, butt of the palm on your circle with your fingertips long so we're not grabbing. And Jane's just going to take a few breaths. She's going to settle her shoulders in, tighten up her core. And she's going to take a nice big inhale, and every time she exhales, she's going to remind herself to gently hug into that circle so that she feels that work, maybe through her wrists, elbows, shoulders, kind of that everywhere kind of work. And when you're doing your practice today, you can always come back to remind yourself on your exhale to find that work. I'm going to have her just do some lift her arms and bring them back. So she's going to inhale, take the circle overhead, keeping her shoulders stable, not popping her ribs up. And then exhale, she'll remind herself of that work every time and just come down, and she can even tap that circle on her thighs. So we're just gonna do that. Inhale, and just kind of feeling that work and that engagement kind of helps our whole body engage. And then I'm gonna take the circle away and ask her to do the same thing and still keep the work. Inhale, pretend like you have that magic circle there and you were gently engaging into it. Exhale as you come back. And let's do one more like that. That inhaling as you lift up. And then that exhale as you come back down. Good. All right, and then you get to rest those arms a little bit. Now, we are gonna head into our 100 today. I want to do just a little demo, and again, I know you're at home, you do not have 2 magic circles like I do, you're just going to pretend. I'm going to give Jane a magic circle here, one on each side of her, and she's going to put her palms on top of them if she can. And yep, just engage, try to have a straight wrist on there. And she's going to find her engagement. All I want her to do a few times before we even do 100 stuff is just, can she inhale, keep her arms straight, and can she press down into the circle and roll her shoulders open and then come back up. Now if you're at home, you're just imagining, put those arms up, press, and come back up. Yeah, and then just for fun, I might have her just curl up, keep your feet down, but just curl up into a red curl. And then could you inhale, pump 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, right? One more breath, just like that, inhaling, and just like feeling that work and that engagement to press really controlled into that circle. And then she gets to roll back down, right? And then we're gonna do our 100, we're taking the magic circle away, but I want her to feel that same amount of work, that control as she pumps. So regular 100 at home, legs can be a tabletop, you can take them to your working level. Let's bring you up to tabletop on there. Nice big inhale. If you're curling up, curl up. If you're keeping your head down, keep it there. And then pump. Inhaling 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. And just having that work as if you had those magic circles there. And maybe every time you pressed it, it helped you open your shoulders and like find that engagement through your arms, right? Gets rid of those sloppy arms that sometimes happen in our 100. And we get that whole body work, always working level. So you can always take legs lower, take legs higher, be at your place where you can stay there, do your pumping and breathing. Let's take 2 more full breaths, which should feel like a ton of work because we're getting like that bonus work today, right? Nice big inhale. And then that exhale, tighten our core. And then you get to roll down. Give those legs a little hug in, roll your head side to side. Nice. Let's come up to seated to start our roll down. We're gonna start with our magic circle, and then we're gonna get rid of it. All right, so we're gonna super glue our legs together, flex your feet. If you're at home and you need a strap, anchor your feet under the couch, bend your legs a little more if you need to keep those feet anchored. All right, we're gonna have our arms out in front a little bit. We got that shoulders plugged in, and we are gently hugging in, so our arms are just not out there in space, they are working. And then she gets to roll back. Inhale halfway, exhale, she's rolling down to the mat. She can reach those arms overhead, but she's keeping her squeeze into her circle, and then she comes right back up. Inhaling for half, exhale, she rounds that hug in, helps her find her shoulders. Inhale, curling back, right? That strong arms that entire time as she's rolling down and rolling up. We're doing one more with our magic circle. And then we're gonna take it away, but keep the work. Inhale, like she's pretending like that magic circle is there, like there was something to press into, and now our body remembers, it knows like that work, it can do it. And all the time when you do your roll-ups, you can come back to that like mental like picture of what it feels like to hug into your circle a little bit and find those muscles. Let's do one more on there. Inhaling for half, exhale. We're gonna roll back down to the mat. We're gonna do a fun little version of our single leg circles with our magic circle. So you're gonna get set up for your version. I'm gonna give Jane her circle back. She's gonna hold it over her chest. She's gonna plug her shoulders in. She's gently squeezing. Let's take our right leg up to the ceiling. You may need to bend this leg if your hamstrings are tight. Otherwise, if it's there for you, you can take it straight and have your foot flexed. So stabilizing our shoulders, you're gonna wanna really hug into that circle, stabilizing our hips. We're gonna go for 3 in this direction. Inhale across, exhale down and around. Right? That maybe inhale for a third, exhale to come around, and you're using your circle, you're squeezing into it. And back around, and then we're gonna go the other way. Inhale to that outside, exhale, circle down and around, right? Feel how that circle kind of helps us, that engagement helps anchor our shoulders into place. One more there. And then you may have guessed we're gonna do 3 in each direction without our circle. Inhale across your body, exhale down and around. Right? And that engaging in, that pretend circle that makes all of our muscles work and find that work. One last one. Inhale across, exhale to come around, and then we reverse it and go the other way. And of course we have all our other work. We got our left heel pressed in, our leg pressing in to anchor us. Our core is tight that entire time, and we have that breath going. We got one more there. And up, and then nice little stretch moment. If you have your circle, use it and just take a little stretch in the back of the leg and just come back in. And then of course we got to do that on the other side. And it's like a nice little okay, done with that. Now we're gonna switch. All right, we're gonna go back to the other side. You get your circle for the first straight. Like we're getting anchored. You got your right leg anchored. Bend her straight is fine. We got a little turn out in our left leg. We are finding our work with our arms, shoulders, core with that magic circle. And then we go across the body, down and around and back up. Right, we're circling, reaching through that leg, trying to keep our body nice and stable as we do it. That left leg's got to work to anchor everything in place, and then we're going to reverse. And maybe you're just appreciating, if you have your circle for these, that you get to use it, because having that connection does help us. It helps find that work, We get one more there, and then circle goes away. We get 3 the other way without the circle. Inhale across, exhale down and around. It really takes that concentration to find that, pretend like you have that circle. Squeeze in, find that muscle engagement. We're gonna do 3 and 3 again, and back, and then we're gonna go the other way to that outside, and then circle the leg down and around. Inhale to start, exhaling as you come around. We got one last one, and then again, nice little stretch at the end. Maybe you take a little back of the leg stretch using your magic circle. Just breathe in, getting the hang out. We're gonna come up to seated. So when you're ready, you can just pop up. I'm gonna switch out. I'm gonna give you can do this with a bigger magic circle, but sometimes I love these little magic circles. So if whatever you have at home, or if you're pretending you're gonna pretend, we're gonna find a rolling like a ball position, but I'm gonna have you put that magic circle a little between your thighs. So I'll let you slide it in there and find your favorite spot. All right, so we're just gonna lift up, see if you can get feet together, right? And be in your balanced position. So Shane's gonna rock back, pelvic tuck a little bit, and then have her curl that low back. Yeah, and just being there. You don't have to squish the circle all the way in, but just having it there, like, it makes you engage, makes you kind of find that connect, right? So we're gonna keep it, and we're gonna rock back and forth. Inhale as you rock back, exhale to come forward, right? And it makes you work to keep those feet together, to keep that gentle little tuck in. You kind of feel how those inner legs have to work. Now let's take it away and still have the same work, right? For me, it helps to connect those feet to kind of fire up those inner thighs, and then do that same thing. Rock back and forth, inhaling and exhaling as you rock back and forth. Nice, let's do one more there. And sweet. All right, let's go back to our regular size magic circle. We're gonna head into just a little stomach series and playing around with how we can use our magic circle. Go ahead and let yourself just roll down to the mat. We are gonna hold it for some single leg stretch to start us off, and then we'll get rid of it. So, same idea, we got our circle, we're hugging in. We're gonna inhale for 1, and then you're gonna exhale, switch. Yeah, inhaling and exhale. I like a little alternating arms, so maybe we take the arms overhead, and then we bring them back. Yeah. And we're squeezing that magic circle. Right? We're keeping our curl, trying not to roll out of it. Our arms are energized, so much work. And then let's do some without, same action. Inhale and exhale, right? We still get that work in our arms. We got that core work to hold up. Let's do one more on each. And back. Awesome, then we get a little rest. And then we should do some double leg stretch like that as well, just for fun. All right, so we got our fingers long. We're gonna curl up, and of course, if you need, leave your head down if it bothers your neck to be in the curl. You're gonna curl up, reach that circle for those ankles, pull your knees in tight, have your hug. Inhale, arms and legs are gonna reach away from each other, and then exhale, we're gonna hug back in. And remember, every time you exhale, that's your reminder. Inhale, you go out of like, could I engage a little bit more? Can I find all that work when I hug back in? Let's do one more. Keeping that deep curl, and then we take the circle away and still keep the work. Inhale to reach out, exhale, we squeeze or we engage a little bit more. We're pretending like we have that magic circle, getting just as much good work out of it. One last one, and back in, and then you can rest. Woo, nice. All right, let's rock up. Let's just do a little spine stretch here. So come on up, we're gonna sit tall. So spine stretch variation. Let us do, yes, and sometimes for me, so when you press down into the circle, what you're gonna find is when you, at least for me, when I press down, my elbows are a little wide, so as I curl, I feel like I'm pressing, but my shoulder blades are still kind of pulling down my back. Yeah, and you can either go there, maybe even like take the hands if you like them, like a little wider on there, outside, yeah, whatever works for you. There you go, yeah, I think I like that. All right, so we're nice and tall, we have a little engagement, we're taking a big inhale. And then as you exhale and curl down, we just keep that gentle press in. And that press in to me reminds me to keep my shoulder blades on my back. And then as you come back up, nice big inhale. And I always feel like you can push in and reach and use that to help you get a little lift. Nice big inhale. And then that exhale as you're curling down. And we're just keeping engagement that whole time. And it's a little different than maybe how we traditionally do it. But we're using it to remind us to keep that kind of shoulder engagement. Let's play with taking it up here for a few and holding it up in space. Shoulder blades down our back, big inhale. Exhale, you're gonna curl down and you're just gonna keep a little hug in. Keep your shoulder blades on your back as you curl down. And then you're gonna roll up, low back, mid back, upper back, and stack tall. Let's do a couple more like that one.
This is just go straight.
Yeah, it can go straight. Like as you come down, it'll lower maybe a little bit, wherever you need to be to not be up in the, yep. And then as you come back up, just hugging into it. Again, it's just finding some work in our arms. So they're not just out here in space, they're kind of doing something. Let's do one more.
Correct it.
Yes, exactly. And then that curling down, rib cage pulls in, low belly pulls in as we round forward, and that rolling up, getting that low back, mid back, upper back. Nice, and then let's take the circle away. Let's do the same thing. Right, we got our arms there, right, no sloppy arms, they're nice and strong. Big inhale, exhale, curling down, neck moves, upper back bends, mid back, our low belly pulls into that low back space, and then we roll back up, and the whole time we're pretending like we have our magic circle, so it feels like our arms and shoulders and everything get bonus work. Let's do two more. Just kind of playing with that idea. Could we pull our rib cage back in? Can we round through that low back? And then that rolling to come up where we hug into our pretend circle, lift tall. Let's do one last one. And your last one, you're gonna curl down, but then you get to drop your pretend circle and just take a stretch. Right, grab your feet, grab your mat, whatever you want to hang on to on there, and you just take a few breaths. Wiggle around side to side, maybe actively pull your stomach up and in just to get that spine stretch kind of feel. And then we will let go there and just roll ourselves back up. Good. All right, that is our little mini workout today. Of course, if you're at home, like use this idea for the rest of your mat sequence as well, right? Play with, yeah, if you have a magic circle, use it, but then try to recreate that work even when you don't have your magic circle. So we hope you enjoyed today's video. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon.